10 years ago, I encountered something that changed how I see the world. Something that shines a light on paths to healing, even amidst catastrophes. It's this: the Earth is an ecosystem that breathes. I know you might think, really, the Earth breathes. But yes, the Earth breathes, and understanding how it breathes can lead to healing. I first witnessed this diving in some seagrass meadows while doing research. On a calm day, I could see bubbles coming out of the seagrass. The seagrass was generating oxygen. It was like a veil had been swept away. I could see what had been invisible on land. It was like standing in a forest, and I can see oxygen coming out of all the leaves. Scientists call breath and photosynthesis forms of gas exchange. We breathe oxygen in, CO2 out. Plants enact the mirror form. Oxygen in, CO2 in, oxygen out. Gas exchange is a pretty dry term. Here's a term that says so much more. Reciprocity. Imagine for a moment the oxygen in the breath you just took. Where did it come from? A tree? A meadow? We breathe. The earth breathes. The breath of the earth is the fabric of our existence. I shadowed oceanographic research on phytoplankton and cyanobacteria that produce oxygen. On zooplankton, pteropods, copepods, tiny animals that breathe and sequester enormous quantities of carbon. About 50% of the oxygen produced right now comes from the ocean. It's not just plants on land that produce oxygen. The entire planet, land and sea, is steeped in the energy exchange, the reciprocity that we call breath. Even NASA scientists call our planet our breathing earth. These are the rhythms of photosynthesis, of the seasons, of plant growth. Migratory species follow the rhythms of that larger breath. But why does this matter? It matters because the scientific name for our breathing earth is another dry term, the carbon cycle. And we're ravaging it. We're ripping out forests and wetlands, even while scientists tell us these are the lungs of the earth. We're polluting and warming seas so much that oxygen levels in the water are going down. The so-called deoxygenation crisis. Fish are choking, and scientists plead that we need to save our suffocating seas. And it's not just the earth that's being choked. There's something suffocating about how we treat other human beings sometimes, how we diminish their humanity. We need to breathe. The earth needs to breathe. It matters because names matter. Why not just say carbon cycle? Because seeing our world as a breathing earth unleashes the best in us. Kinship, compassion, gratitude. It matters because it leads to solutions. I did field work in Indonesia to learn more about coastal restoration. In the village of Bohowo, an aquaculture company had ripped out the mangroves and gone bankrupt. For the villagers, this was a catastrophe. How were they going to survive? The villagers and the local government planted over 5,000 mangroves. The seedlings flourished. The fish came back. The mangroves protected the village from storms, oxygenated the water. The villagers had fish to eat again. This kind of healing can happen all over the world. Urban farming, regenerating wetlands, planting trees, rewilding abandoned farmland, regenerating grasslands. Indigenous cultures honor the breath of the earth. The Raramuri tribe speaks of the notion of Iwigara, that all life forms share the same breath. Reindeer herders in Mongolia were known to speak of the breathing of the mountains. When I saw the oxygen bubbles in the seagrass, I was steeped in that reality of shared breath. I want to leave you with this. Seeing our world as a breathing earth can unleash breakthrough wisdom and energy. It can inspire a courage we didn't even know we had, to speak the truth, to refuse silence, to take action rooted in our kinship with the earth and with each other. That's how we thrive. That's how we can heal. That's where we get our strength and joy, because inside that reciprocity is an energy that just won't quit. Because we care for what we love. Because our life breath and the life breath of the planet are inseparable. Because we need to breathe, and the earth needs to breathe. Thank you very much.